Loudon, or if they merge with us, we could possibly reduce some costs there. Because there's, you know, some efficiencies that you can gain there by merging. And hopefully, I think you'll see more of that in the future. Texas Cooperative has already started it, and I think we'll see that in Tennessee in the next few years. But you get into situations where, you know, this is the way we've always done it in the past. We've been Loudon Utilities, and we've always been Fort Loudon. We have to think outside the box, and that's what we've told all of our employees. Think outside the box. We can't think like we used to. We've got to look for creative ways to do things, and I think part of that is we've got to get past the old file processes and look for the new file processes. And that might include mergers with like Loudon or Sweetwater or others, where we can reduce our costs and bring all that together. So you may see that very shortly.
But we can't do that alone.
No, it's not that, I can't.
It has to be merged.
Yeah, it has to be a mutual agreement between both utilities, but I think that's probably what you'll see in the future, whether it's here or another part of the state. Actually, when I was with the federal government, we even recommended to some of the cooperatives out there that bid it up to one another. You may want to start looking at merging cost efficiencies. That's all I did for 20 years for American Electric Power. That was my job. Was process improvements and cost efficiencies, and that's how you produce cost.
That's one of the reasons we went to 410s. Keeps, instead of men being on the road traveling, keeps them on the job site working the same amount of hours and less time in the truck.
We've done remote show-up also, where we've stationed trucks in communities like Tellico Plains and had the employees show up there, and they work their 10-hour shift, and the truck doesn't leave Tellico Plains, so we don't have to burn as much fuel. We've been doing several things like that. So.
And we're looking at the county systems. To say this, I'm just throwing a number, I think we talked about before, $100,000 a year. Those are things that we have to do. That's my job and Chad's job, is to look at the processes. How can we make it better? How can we make it cheaper? And that ultimately, we pass that on to you.
How about these new heaters that you're talking about, these Eden Pier heaters?
The Amish ones? I really don't know anything about those, sir.
They said it saves 50%, and if it did, why, that would help, seem like, on the heat bill.
You know, if y'all need an energy audit, you know, and just call Mike Davenport, he'll be happy to come out and assist in this. Give you an energy audit that maybe help you reduce your energy consumption. We're here to help. We're not trying to, you know, we're on to you. You pay our bills. You pay our salaries. You know, we're here to help you. That's what
Going on that, during the board meeting, y'all was talking about committees, and I can't get this out of my head.
Me either.
$150 per person every time a committee meets. How many committees do y'all have? And can y'all not reduce those committees? Because y'all just talked about this roundup, and you had a committee, and the roundup is supposed to be pulling money together to help. Y'all were paying this committee.
No, ma'am, they came before the board meeting, they were running, so we did not have to do that.
Okay, so how many committees do y'all have that y'all pay to?
Right now, we just had two that we formed. That one's called an ad hoc committee, and the other is an ethics committee, because we have to abide by certain business rules as board members. They have to abide by them. We have to make sure that we are doing the right thing. And also the ad hoc that's part of the deal we were just talking about on that board policy that says we have
On
to
the
pass.
truck committee?
Yeah, because all of our policies are outdated. They're about 20 and 30 years old. Quite frankly, they're of no use anymore. And we have got to go through there, and I've talked to Lisa, that we have to go through there, and our management team needs to revise and update those policies to reflect the current business climate. And then we need our board members to come in and review our recommendations to see if they want to pass that on. Because we want to be current, we want to do the right things. We can't rely on 20 and 30-year policies.
You just named two committees just then, right?
That's all we're going to
Do you have subcommittees off of those two committees?
No, ma'am.
So where did the truck committee come from?
That was here before I got here. I don't know.
It's
Well,
a
you gotta count
subcommittee
that.
though, right?
We just can't
We
count
just
that
formed-
one still, but.
So
Okay.
It's still in place, but we just formed two new, the ad hoc and the ethics committee was
That's it.
mandated that we do that.
And that's the total of just three.
I've been there for meeting, nobody's told me about it. Those
Committee do for diem for anyone else.
I don't read the minutes.
That's what I'm saying. It just doesn't make sense to have a truck committee.
But speaking of the trust committee, a moment ago you were talking about the one-man bucket trucks. What is the return of investment on that? How long is it going to take to recoup those costs that it that we're,
Well, for a cooperative, when you're talking about outages, where I could quantify a monetary amount, I couldn't tell you because, you know, when you got meters that are not turning, we don't have a system where we could actually capture that and say, okay, we've lost $200,000 in here in 2 hours. I mean, I don't have the capabilities. But from a standpoint of getting meters turning and reducing the number of men responding to that, I could, it's hard to quantify, but it's a lot cheaper.
One of those big bucket trucks we have on the hill is, I think, 200,000, new 199,000.
but those are already on hand, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, we've got two coming.
We had to have replaced.
Too much.
Yeah.
We
Replace
bought
them
two
all the
for
time.
almost $500,000.
Man, if everybody in the country wasn't doing it, trust me, when I worked for investor-owned utilities, we sold lines to rural cooperatives because they weren't profitable. When you work in the investor-owned utility world, where I came from for 25 years, if you didn't make a profit, you didn't do it. So you sold it off to cooperatives. Because everybody's gonna have electricity. And quite frankly, that's how cooperatives came about. Investor-owned utilities didn't want to serve them. They could not make money. If you can't return to your investors, like investor-owned utilities do, then you're not gonna stay in business. We don't have to report to investors. We have to report to you. So we try to break even. That's our whole goal, is to break even. We're a non-profit organization. So we try to streamline our margins so we can actually operate, but we're not for profit.
Are you pursuing cost-cutting measures to help absorb some of the TVA offset?
We could never do that. You're talking millions of dollars. I mean, we only got 31,000 customers. If we were an American Electric Power or Progress Energy or an FPNL, yeah, of course, it's in numbers. There again, it's just a business model. You can say potentially millions of dollars, but, you know, literally $31,000, those returns will not be as great.
Well, with the 31,000 customers that had an average of $30 a month for fuel charge, I mean, that's $940,000 a month, so
That sounds
that's gotta be
probably about right.
offsetting something.
Yeah.
But that goes to TVA.
They don't go to that.
We get no, no
That's all,
dollar.
we don't.
But there's no cost-cutting measures that you can take to help absorb some of those costs, so it's not passed on to the electric customer.
Well, you know, anything that we do, if we respond with a one-man crew, or if we respond quickly, where we have, you know, margins that, you know, we don't have to increase our rates, that ultimately passes on to our customers. You know, if we can install a accounting system that is gonna save us $100,000 a year, then yeah, in the broad scheme of things, it's gonna be passed on to you guys, because eventually, we're like everybody else, we're like a household, eventually, you know, costs going up, our material costs alone probably doubled or tripled in the last year.
Well, in the past 5 years, it's been astronomical. So,
And we've been absorbing that all along, trust me, we have been absorbing that. Material costs, steel, I mean, you just would not imagine the cost of material going up. Copper, I mean, and we have not had a pass through, we have not increased our rates, so we're keep absorbing, absorbing. So that in itself is a cost savings for our customers, because we still continue to become more efficient as we move on in our future business models, and we pass those savings on to you without having an increase.
So we're comparable to the surrounding electric
Well, I
cooperatives.
still where we're at on that.
on the rate.
Yeah, well, like Loudon County and
Well-
Lenore City and.
I've got a survey that I just looked at, and a lot of these are municipalities. But out of 19, we're number 12 on rates.
In East Tennessee.
That means there's
We're about
11
nine.
higher than us out of that 19. So, yeah, we're very comparable.
Is that taking in the fuel surcharge?
Yeah. And there's no.
Because
as
I
far
looked
as
at
the
some of
fuel
them
surcharge,
online today and they didn't have the fuel surcharge.
Everybody's got it.